Hello everyone. Now that we've learned about some food items, also utensils and even actions and things that maybe we can relate more to inside the house, some of them also may be used outside, of course, it is time to go outside and experience a little bit of what we can and should say in services like in the cafe and also the restaurant. So that's exactly what we are going to do in this presentation. So starting with the cafe. After your initial greeting, o cumprimento, according to part of day, bom dia, boa tarde, boa noite, we go ahead with a call for attention sometimes when it's necessary. So, for example, this desculpe works very well. This form is in the third person, so it's for você, it's formal and it's polite to call for someone's attention in a setting like this one. You can also use here this olhe. It is not as polite. I would go ahead and use the desculpe first. But if you use this olhe in a follow-up of a conversation, to give an example or something, it's not as impolite as calling for someone's attention in first approach. Then, to request something, here in the masculine, we are going to use verbo querer, to want. This is the conjugation for the first person. So, eu quero. Then we have here the masculines. We use usually the indefinite article. So, for example, café, galão, bolo, or in the feminine. You can also say quero uma cerveja, uma sandes, uma tosta, uma meia de leite. If you are a little bit uncertain about what you want, you may request to see the menu, the list. Usually in the cafe, we don't use the word menu like we do in the restaurant, so that's why I put there the word list, and it works very well. When asking for something, like for example there with the quero something, in the end you can say por favor or se faz favor. Virtually there are no differences between them. Either of them works, either of them is polite, either of them does not have a specific occasion when it should be used. You can just use it freely. And when it's time to pay, you can either use an affirmation like the first one, quero a conta, I want the bill, or you can ask a question like in the second one, quanto devo, that translating is how much do I owe. So to get in a more practical example, I put here a very small dialogue no café. It's small, but it's a very habitual, normal interaction that you could expect to have in a cafe. So starting here with the greeting, like I said, bom dia, and the reply also from the waiter, bom dia, o que deseja? So this deseja is what are you going to want? To which the client replies, quero galão e uma sandes de fiambre. And com certeza replies the waiter, so certainly, for sure. Then finally, after a while, the client says, olhe, quero a conta, por favor. So in here we have two examples that I gave before. First, the olhe, to call for someone's attention, the waiter, and then quero a conta as an affirmation, but to be a little bit more polished, we add here the por favor. So the waiter says são 3,20 euros, se faz favor, and this I added here on purpose because you're going to have one example of each, por favor e se faz favor, but like I said, it makes no difference to use twice the same or use different ones or one is not more adequate for the client or for the waiter. And the client replies, aqui tem, here you go, here you have, e obrigada. Then, no restaurante, it's a little bit different. Some of the things are the same, but we still have the initial greeting, bom dia, boa tarde, boa noite. In the restaurant, I would say that bom dia is not so much used, but still I added here. And for example, when you're not going to have a dinner right away, lunch with dinner right away, and you want to reserve a table, this is the sentence that you should use. Quero reservar uma mesa. More. You can also go to the restaurant and ask if there is a table available. So, for example, tem mesa para, and then the number of people that you want to sit. Then, to make the request, again, using verbo querer, quero, eu quero, ou nós queremos pedir. Also, you can say quero tomar aperitivo ou digestivo. So, one aperitivo for before the meal and digestivo for after. Quero ver a emenda ou menu. So, like I said, emenda ou menu, they are very much the same thing, and they are more used in the restaurant than they were in the café, opposed to the list that we had in the café. Posso ver a lista de vinhos ou bebidas. So, when we request the list in the restaurant, it's usually for the beverages. And qual é a sua sugestão? I very much like to go to restaurants and ask the waiters what they suggest. So this could be also a good option for you. Qual é o prato do dia? Many restaurants work with this, the dish of the day, a special dish that they have. It's different every day, and you may want to know which one it is. And to classify the meal that you are having, you can also say a entrada, the entree, comida, food, sobremesa, dessert, está boa ou está má. It's either good or bad, but matters is that all of these nouns are in the feminine, so the adjectives boa e má are also in the feminine. To finalize, I have here a dialogue in the restaurant, just like we had one for the café, we have one here for the restaurant. So, boa tarde, tem mesa para 3 pessoas? Tenho sim, pode ser esta mesa? Sim, sim. Posso ver a emenda? E qual é o prato do dia? Aqui tem a lista. O prato do dia é arroz de polvo. Já escolheram? After a while. Sim, eu quero o arroz de polvo, o meu colega quer o arroz de pato e a minha colega quer o bife de frango com arroz e salada. Bebemos uma garrafa de vinho branco. Muito bem, obrigado. So, this very plain interaction, but I just want to actually stand out something here is that purposefully we had the word colega here in this final part. Colega, and then colega again, just to mention that the word colega is always written like this, okay? We specify the gender through the article, for example, but colega only ends with the letter A. After seeing the situations both in the restaurant and in the cafe with some sentences and formulas about what we should say and how we should engage also with the waiters. If you are with another person or people, you can wish them a happy, enjoyable meal by wishing bon appetit.